okay, you're working at this restaurant and you have this apartment when you hear about Rhythm and Flow, or
Yeah. So within the span of like a year and a half, I got my apartment, and then I got my partner pregnant in like a year of being newly not homeless. And so I had one kid accident, and I'll let them know that when they grow up. And then I had another kid 17 months later. So I say all that to say too, like it was the universe just working out for me. Like I got these two kids. I'm working as a teacher, which doesn't pay shit really. I'm still trying to rap, and I'm still just trying to do me. And if at any point, I believe at any point I steered left to do anything different, to like fuck that, I'm gonna get an office job or anything, I wouldn't have got on Rhythm and Flow. So yeah, that Rhythm and Flow came right at the right time.
so how'd you hear about it?
Once again, if I'd have steered left, I wouldn't have got heard about it, because my boss at the Musicians Institute, Deborah Bird, she's the vocal coach for The Voice. She's the vocal coach for American Idol, so she knows people. So she told me about it. She gave me the application when it was just called Untitled Hip Hop Project. That's what it was called. And I was just like, and for the longest time, I was like, I don't want to do this. Like,
That's a terrible name.
Yeah, that's terrible. Because even before that, I had gotten like an application to do The Four. I mean, I remember The Four. Oh, that shit was bad. And thank God I didn't get it. But she gave me the application 3 months before it was released to the public. I filled it out, and then Tip and Cardi B said, we got a show coming out, fill this application out, and I clicked it again, and it was the exact same application. So I heard it from that, and yeah. And I was telling, because if the reason they did it like that, I believe, is if you tell the world at one time, we're looking for rappers, that you're fucked. Like, you're like, oh shit, you want some rappers? Here you go.
Right.
And they're going to be, not a lot of them are going to be great. So they had like a little select few, which I think D Smoke was one of those people. I think a lot of the people who were probably in the last couple episodes got the application before everyone else did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to say that, like, they sort of maybe had people in particular that they were leaning towards that were supposed to sort of be the stars of the show?
I wouldn't say the stars of the show, but they wanted people that they knew could perform. That they knew, because it was people. I get a lot of people in Denver like, man, I can't wait till I'm on that show next season. Like, I'm gonna kill it. No, nigga, we were chilling at our homes, and then a month later, hey, we need you to come perform in front of Cardi B, T.I., and Chance and Snoop right now. You have to be in a certain mindset as a performer and an entertainer to just be like, oh, okay, let's do it. Because there was people, oh man, I can't believe it. Like, oh, Cardi B's out there. Like, no. Cardi, and the same like energy you're thinking of that, putting that in, it should be like, oh, okay, Cardi B's out here, let me do that shit.
Right.
And not everyone can do that. So they had their people who they were like, okay, he's performed before, he has this many views on his videos, they have this, let's get them.
Right.
Because if we just get a million applications of people who we don't know have it, we don't have a show.
So are you going into the show thinking, I really need to go crazy because they have people that they kind of want to push through, so I need to really overperform?
I went into that show doing the same shit I did every show that I've done. Like, I wasn't tripping about, like, literally anybody else. If you see like the 5 minutes of screen time that I have on that whole show, the only time I'm talking is when I'm performing. So I wasn't worried about nobody fucking else. I was actually like, damn, y'all are really like giving a lot of energy to something that y'all don't really need to give energy to. So for me, it was just like, nah, I'm just going to do what I've been doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Because there's like, that's the attitude is you could either be nervous as fuck for this, or you could just do it.
Yeah.
And being nervous isn't going to make you any better. It's not going to, freaking out for days or weeks beforehand or thinking about the enormity of rapping in front of Chance the Rapper is not going to help you.
And I'll add to that by saying the nervous is actually fine. Being nervous is fine. That's some sort of energy that you're holding for yourself to get out something better. Like, nerves are fine. I watched an interview with Kanye. He said, I get nervous every show. Kanye. So that's normal. It's it's the doubt. It's like it's the negative nervous that we're talking about. It's the like anxiety to it. That's what it is. It's not the nerves. It's the like, oh, well, what is Chance going to do? You should be nervous. You're about to take something that you made and show the world. Like, that's fucking, yeah, that's nerve wracking.
To me, it's like you practice to beat out the nerves. Like, because I could have, if they tell me tomorrow I got to interview Jay-Z, I'm going to be nervous as fuck.
Yeah.
And I'm going to sit down in front of my computer and I'm going to fucking study Jay-Z for 12 hours. And then by the end of it, I'm not going to be that nervous anymore. You know?
That's such a good point. Because I realized too that a lot of my nerves and anxiety came from not being prepared. When I was teaching, like whenever I wasn't prepared for the lesson, I'd be like, oh shit, like what the fuck am I going to say? But once I was prepared, it was like, oh, okay, yeah, you're absolutely dead on with that.
Right. Like if you go out there and you don't know your rap that well, but if you've done it 300 times in front of the mirror, then you know what are you gonna do? But I guess that does happen to some people. They get up there and they just forget.
Yeah, it's not for everyone. They knew what they were doing. They definitely did.
Definitely. So one thing that really kind of stood out to me as odd was just the lyrical content of everyone seemed like it avoided any sort of like, threat, like mostly like threats of violence, any sort of like real like street talk or whatever. And I was wondering, is that kind of just because everybody realizes that they're rapping in front of Chance the Rapper and that you probably want to go clean? Or was there ever any sort of instructions about lyrical content? Because I just felt like everyone, and probably a lot of it has to do with who was picked, but everyone went in a very like different direction than a lot of modern day rap.
That's actually really interesting. I never noticed that. The only like lyrical, I guess it was even performance direction, was to don't sound like Drake. They didn't want us to do any sing-songy melodic shit.
Interesting.
And that's fair, and I get that. But from what you're saying, and also let me say this real quick. They edited the fuck out of that show. They cut pretty much all of my cypher verse. They cut a lot of shit. So, and with that being said, we don't get to see the other people rap when we're backstage. So maybe they cut a lot of that shit out.
Right.
They could have done that just because of, TV shit. With that being said, I say that a lot. Gangster rap's hard to do if you're not gangster. True. It's just really hard. Yeah. The reason X-Ray was talking about this, he was like, yeah, people fucked with me because I was just saying what the fuck was happening. Like, it wasn't like I was doing, like, he's like, it's Crip. Like, it's Crip, but this is what this is. Like, this isn't like me trying to be Crip. This is Crip. So if a lot of the people, I would assume, most gangsters aren't trying out for reality TV shows. Right. I mean, that's my But like,
when I just think about what I was watching on that show versus when I do these live streams where people just donate for me to check out their music and stuff, it's like so much of what I get sent on there is basically some sort of like weird emo rap thing where they're inspired by Lil Peep, Juice WRLD, maybe something like Post Malone or whatever, where they're just doing this sort of like melodic thing. It's definitely not about rapping. Yeah. A lot of times there's like a obvious X influence. A lot of times there's people who kind of sound more of like a TK or like, even like a Chief Keef type thing. There was so much of the people on Rhythm and Flow were just like rappers.
Yeah,
like,
they made us they made that super clear. They made it super. In fact, they made it so clear that Ray Khalil, I don't know if y'all remember her. She was like the one with the glasses and the dreads. She lost in the battle of Big Mouth. But Ray Khalil, when she did her audition,
I'm a queen.
No, that's Felicia George. Oh. Her ancestors are behind her. No, this is Ray Khalil.
She just kept saying, I'm a queen no matter what they would ask her.
Felicia was dope too. Yeah, Ray Khalil, when she did her audition, like in front of Snoop and all that, she did more of a melodic type of thing. And they said, no,
really,
she cannot do that. So she had to do her actual audition thing was like something that she just came up with like within that 24 hours.
It's so interesting because when they tell you like don't do like a Drake type thing or whatever, Drake is the most influential rapper of the last 10 years. And that's a conversation I was having with somebody is I'm like, there's nobody on that show that reminded me of like a Playboi Carti, an Uzi, a melodic type of thing. And everybody seemed like a real rapper who probably writes out their verses and stuff. Whereas when you listen to most rap these days, it feels like most people are punching in. Oh, yeah. It's very much like this sort of like cerebral, like just sort of off the top of the head type thing.
Yeah.
Whereas rhythm and flow is such a different, and you, if you like real rap, you definitely got a lot of good shit out of it in terms of artists that fulfill that.
Yeah, I think modern hip hop today is very ethereal, and it's very like you need to hear it on a record. Like that's what like the Post Malone type shit is. And I really appreciate Rhythm and Flow for doing that, because they could have had the top 4 just be like, oh girl, like that could have been the whole top 4 from like the whole finale. So yeah, they made sure like, nah, y'all better rap.
And it's like, if you're doing a rap contest, it's like if you put D Smoke up against Playboi Carti and you're judging who's the better rapper, how the fuck are you going to pick Playboi Carti when he's not really doing anything? Like, and his music is huge. He's unbelievably successful, but it's like, how do you really quantify the value in that versus somebody who's really rapping their ass off? In particular, D Smoke seemed poised to win the whole thing because he had all of these sort of other attributes with the Spanish and the instruments and stuff. It's like, it seems so perfect to make that point of look at how great a hip hop musician can be.
Yeah, and once again, I applaud them for having the us just rap, because that would have been some bullshit if it was a D Smoke versus Playboi Carti and Playboi did some hype shit and D Smoke came out with the Delisha Keys shit and Playboi Carti went. That would be fucking terrible. That'd be absolutely
weird.
terrible.
Yeah.
And I also say like, D Smoke should have won. Like absolutely. I'll say this too. Whoever wins our battle, I think wins the whole show. But yeah, D Smoke he's the whole package. He is a great example of how great hip hop can be.